You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hello there. This is General Grievous, and you are watching the Cantina Club.
Another episode breakdown of Book of Boba Fett here at the Cantina Club. This week we've got something a little bit of a different format wise. I'm going to put my reaction video that I've already previously uploaded at the front of this, and then our discussion will follow after the reaction section. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back to talk about everything right after this. Take care.
We all know around here, Solo always does shots first. Singing your no, raise your glass, and sing your no. Sing it with me, your no. At the Cantina Club.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, play.
Click. Yes. Let's do it.
Okay, it is rare. It is a rare sign when Greedo's this excited about something.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes!
Oh!
Raylan.
Nice. Raylan.
Man, casting is one thing they always get right on these shows.
Yeah, agreed.
I love this character. I just
me too.
love him.
Me too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He just gets more awesome every second.
Oh, crap.
Look at Gundark. Look at Gundark.
Oh, wow.
Could we prove spontaneous human combustion today?
No way. No way. R2.
Oh, freaking look at that.
Wow.
I'm looking for Skywalker.
Ah, are you now?
Are you really?
It's like just name dropping like a boss.
Looking for Skywalker. He had a kid with him.
He had a kid with him.
Is that a bench?
Is that a bench? That's a great line.
You won alive. This is straight out of Oral Knots.
Wow.
Can you believe what you're seeing?
No.
Just
This is ridiculous.
It's him. It's him.
how did they do that?
You're like Alan Grant in Jurassic Park. How did you do this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Grogu during Order 66. Oh,
Okay.
what? I didn't either.
No one did.
I'm an old friend of the family.
Really?
That's all you got.
Don't try. Do.
I mean, it's light years beyond what it was before. Ugh. Can't take it.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
I mean, are you serious?
Oh. Oh, this is wonderful.
God, which is the cooler duo?
I know.
Mando and Grogu or Luke and Grogu?
Great question.
Grogu's reflecting our feelings right now.
Yeah, see, there you got a pretty good look at the outfit there.
Oh.
Improved on
Get back
what they
up.
did last season.
Always get back up.
That's why I love Luke.
He's done.
Hope you still have the receipt, Master. My God, it's just unbelievable.
It's him.
What the?
Sometimes I wonder.
Wow.
That was astonishing.
That was
Wow.
insane.
That's the
I
sequel
could
to
have
Return
never-
of the Jedi. It's a
I could
sequel to
never
Return
have
of the
conceived
Jedi.
of that.
Yeah, it's a sequel
No.
to Return of the Jedi. Exactly.
That was why I was always holding back on this idea that they'd have more Luke, because he was so expressionless in the last one.
Yeah.
I
Right.
just felt limited what they could do.
They've
And now,
really gone a long way with that.
They got
yeah, now I feel like all
everything.
bets are off. It's just everything is on the table now.
Gestures, mannerisms, emotions, everything came through. in that.
That's why I
It's
feel
just-
like this is the one of the most monumental episodes of or anything of Star Wars they've done in recent
Mhm.
memory because of
Yeah.
that fact. Because it's convincing. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, you know.
I'm here at the request of Fennec Shand.
Well, I'm gonna cut you up anyway.
The mods have done a thorough job of surveying the streets, but we lack the knowledge.
I don't think you heard what I said. I heard you.
He has that talent for appearing from nowhere.
Yeah, he does.
Right in the middle of the street. Earlier he was just in the middle of the desert.
What does that mean?
It's a
Oh
good
no!
episode.
Oh, I knew it. I
Preparing
knew.
yourself.
I had such a feeling this was going to happen. Yep, this is one of those two ways. I said it could go when you said that.
Afternoon, Marshall.
Do me a favor.
Oh
Or-
my god! I don't even
or
like to
come-
sit down for
or
this.
come outside and view the awesomeness. Also would be a good choice. Oh my god, this episode just
That's the
giving and
brilliant
giving and giving.
combustion. Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, it's definitely my turn to combust.
Just the most awesome thing ever.
Yeah. Okay, Filoni is the man. Filoni is the man.
Get inside. Oh my word.
Wow. It's finally happened.
And who might you be?
Didn't you watch Clone Wars?
Whatever Fett is paying you will match.
Holy.
Wow.
All you got to do is stay put and let
Wow.
picking my nose if I were you.
Pop can't be dead.
You all right, Trader?
Wow.
How did that moment measure up for you?
That was amazing. That was incredible.
Wasn't he among wasn't he like the 6th or 7th favorite top 10 characters?
Yeah, he was in the
for Star
top.
Wars?
Yeah, he was around 6 or 7 all time.
for the Trader.
Yep. Wow.
I
Okay.
guess that's why.
I just feel like a real villain arrived, you know?
Yeah,
It's just
finally.
got a villain.
Yeah, we finally have a,
Oh
a
my
real
God,
villain.
he's scary as hell.
Wait, you forgot
Oh
your captain.
no.
Oh. Ooh. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Now we know why Will Hood was running so fast.
Wow, they're really
I
getting
did not see
serious
that.
now.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Wow.
Oh, Yoda's theme. Oh my God.
Wow.
It belonged to my teacher.
I think that's Yoda's saber.
It's actually Yoda's saber.
Yes.
Wow.
Dave Filoni directed it? Okay.
Yeah, I knew he directed it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
word. Can we give more than a 10?
Yeah.
I know it.
I
I screwed myself last week.
I'm the only one that
I
held
give
out
it a
and gave a
10.
9 last week. So I think I know where I can go this week.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. How? How did they use special effects to actually create people? It's just, and not just Luke, Grogu. I mean, the look on Grogu's face in that final moment. I mean, how did they emote
Yeah.
like that with special effects? It's just.
Was when he put Grogu in the backpack and said, "Come with me, I'm going to show you something." And then he did the whole run from Empire Strikes
Yeah.
Back. And
Exactly.
that whole sequence where Luke was so alive, and it was,
Yes.
and Grogu was his usual, I can't even speak.
It was just like,
I couldn't believe
we
what
were
I was
right
seeing.
after Return of the Jedi. We were right
Yeah.
after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And that was Luke in every way. Even the looks, little moments of affection, that's what I really appreciated. He didn't look emotionless. Even
Not
though
at
they're
all,
supposed
yeah.
to forego attachments, it was the Luke who had tried to save his father. It was
Right.
Luke who did save his father. You know, and the moments too when Ahsoka kind of challenged him about what are you going to do? You have to make a decision. I like too his kind of hesitation. You know, he's not arrogant. He's not. He's thinking carefully and going to let Grogu make the choice.
Right.
That was shocking to me because of one of the things that disturbed me about Clone Wars is showing the Jedi taking the babies, babies that
Not
had
giving them a
force
choice,
sensitivity.
basically.
Yeah. I really appreciated Luke gave a choice, and he didn't necessarily weight one over the other. You know, it's left
Right.
up. He tells him the full
He just-
consequences, and it's left
He
up
just
to you.
set the stage for us.
Yeah.
This is what happens if you choose this. This is what happens if you choose that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I that's the one thing that I wasn't sure about in this episode was him bringing up attachment again.
Yeah.
And we were all hoping that that wouldn't be a founding block of his new Jedi training or whatever,
Right.
because he was never trained about that really,
Yeah.
that we saw on screen anyway. And also his what helped him succeed was against the common wisdom. All the Jedi were telling him to kill Vader.
Yes,
You know,
kill your
Mhm.
dad.
and he said, I can't do that. And he found his own way. And so I was hoping finding your own way would be a tenet of his, new philosophy. But in a way, he's doing that. And Grogu is 50 or 51 or 2 at this point or something. So he's had years of, being in different environments in the world and stuff. But they have that endless well of backstory of evidently Grogu doesn't remember everything.
Mhm.
And now they have an endless well that they can pull from. And it also makes me wonder, was Anakin coming down that corridor
Right. Could have been.
behind the clones? And
I had not
could we
thought
see
that.
When we end up
Grogu in
seeing
the
that,
one
yeah.
series? Yeah.
Oh.
Or in the Ahsoka
Mhm.
series, if anywhere where they have Hayden Christensen and in the potential of flashbacks, Grogu could be there now. So they're drawing all this stuff together. But
And Ahsoka telling Luke that he reminded her of his father.
oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If I was a
That
bigger
was-
fan of the prequels, I would have freaked out at that moment.
That was a
Mhm.
powerful
Yeah, I'm
moment
sure
regardless.
prequels fans' heads are exploding right now.
I do want to say my favorite line from this, and there was several, but
Yeah, there are a lot.
there were some real awesome catchphrases in this. But my favorite line from this, they towed the line with all these between going too far. Like she could have continued on with saying you're like your father in this way or that way, and it would have been too much.
Mhm.
But the fact that she just stopped and let let that just hit you, that she
Yeah.
just said that to
And
Luke
the
and
look
didn't go
on
any
his
further.
face, too.
Yeah.
The look
But my
on his
favorite
face
line
priceless.
was when he said, "Get up, always get up,"
Yeah.
Mhm.
to Grogu. And I was like, damn it, that is Luke.
Yeah.
That is Luke. He never said that to Rey one time in The Last Jedi. He said, stay down.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. You don't know how this is going to go. You don't know me. The Jedi are corrupt. It was just constant barrage of negativity the whole movie.
Yep.
That's one reason I had trouble with it was he didn't turn a corner until the very, very end of the film. We never got to see really a smile on his face or anything. The positivity was just completely crushed out of him. And this is a guy, that's more in tune with what I would want to see from him, which is you're going to get knocked down. There's no
Mhm.
excuses. You get right back up. And that's positive, and what we saw in Last Jedi was Luke just down and refusing to get up. And that goes against everything I just continue
Everything
to say
we know about
it
the
goes against
character.
what we know about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this just reinforced it for me, even though it brought up the attachment thing, and they're still playing it to where they can continue the story to the end that we've seen and make it consistent.
Mhm.
I'm just so gratified to see a little moment, and it was practical. Grogu was laying on the ground, so he said, get up, always. But then he said, always get up, and it
Always
became
get up,
a
yeah.
lesson, but they didn't overdo it. He didn't say life's going to knock you down, Grogu.
Right.
Just
Then
brush yourself off and keep
beat you over the
trying.
head with it. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't continue for 15 minutes. He just threw it out there, and that was the most. I just freaking lost at that point the first time I watched it, and then when I texted you guys was the run, through the the planet. I was just like, and then the expressions and the body language. There was like no disconnect between the head and the body, of the Luke character. Like when he jumped on the bamboo and climbed up, it looked like a guy, focusing and concentrating on what he was doing. And then he's at peace when he's at the top. You get he's emoting freely. It's like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I
I wonder if from what I understand, they actually hired the deep fake artist who did the stuff online that looked better than what they did in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. From what I understand, they actually
wow.
reached out and said, you did a better job than what we did. Why don't you come work with us?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And to me, this episode looked like they just threw the bank at it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I think there's going to be inhibitions to this stuff going forward, is because that's got to cost a fortune. We may never know what this episode cost, but it's
Wow.
Yeah.
through the roof. I'm sure they probably haven't got to the point yet where it's practical to do all of that. I mean, there was so much detail in there.
Yeah.
I didn't see the same expression repeated twice. You know, there was nuance to everything.
Right. They weren't like cycling through. We got 4 expressions. Let's
Mhm.
use expression number 3 now, you know.
Yeah, the voice,
exactly.
the voice sounded better. Like I said, Mark Hamill has like a way of moving and breathing when he talks and stuff that's unique to him, just like everybody and everything. And they even got that, like, which makes me wonder if he was under there somewhere, or if they've just gotten it so good that they can just create that, you know, from somebody with points on their face or whatever.
Right.
Over. But it was so nuanced. I feel like we just witnessed something incredible, you know.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, that
game
was
changing.
phenomenal.
It just game changing. And even if you take our emotions out of it and look at it practically, it's like I feel like I sold this whole thing short now. Like, they've done so much more than I would have ever thought at this point.
So this is what I was hoping for. And I kind of
it's worlds away from Tarkin and Princess Leia in Rogue One. I mean,
and even Rise of Skywalker,
which I still have no problem with that, but still, this is way better. Yeah. This is what I predicted, and I was telling you. I know you and I, Greedo, had this discussion on a podcast last year, saying that I was looking forward to one day. I know they're going to make full movies with deceased actors, as long as they get the rights to the image. And you know, we're going to have a young John Wayne movie one day again. You know, we're going to have a young Clint Eastwood Western again. We're going to have, you know, a gangster with, I mean, we've already got a gangster movie with De Niro and Pesci and, you know, all these guys that have been de-aged 30 years. And it's not the best, but it's getting there.
It's going through the growing pains that are natural.
It's getting there. And, you know, the thing I told you, this is the question I threw out at you, Greedo. I said, would you want to see a young Indiana Jones movie, meaning Indiana Harrison Ford in his prime, like around Raiders of the Lost Ark timeline? And I said, I absolutely do. And you're like, no, I don't ever want to see that.
No.
And I'm like, why? I mean, you just got through seeing the exact same thing on this episode. No, there's no difference.
I don't know.
Here you're going to see Luke Skywalker, and he's like, "No, I don't want to see it. No, I don't want to see it."
There's no way in hell I would want to see what I just saw. So you're probably right. But every Harrison Ford in that character, Indiana Jones, I'm prepared to be proven wrong, but I look at failures from the past and it colors my view of the future. Like, I wouldn't trade Luke's entrance in Mandalorian for anything. Even people say you overshadowed the show. You know, F that, I don't care. You know, I don't think he did, for one thing. But looking at the limitations, then I had trepidations going forward. You know, like, can I suspend my disbelief and accept? Because Luke's such a special character. You know, can I just have him shot from behind and delivering dialogue through a hood, in shadow all the time, you know, or through a hologram, like he's communicating, you know, can I accept the limitations of it? And I just feel like that's all just been swept off the table. Yeah. But when you talk about Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford is a physical performer, much more so. I mean, Mark Hamill is too, but Indiana Jones is a physical character.
Agreed.
They can't just get the face right. They can't just get the voice right. They have to get
everything
Harrison Ford right. And I don't know, at some point I guess it's gonna happen.
I think it'll be possible eventually. Not saying it'll happen next week, but I have a feeling we're going to get de-aged Indiana Jones in the next film, because I know we've seen photos of Harrison Ford dressed as Indiana Jones with the dots all over his face. So I know we're going to get flashbacks in the next film. I think.
I'm more worried about the film being good than about them having.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I just hope we're not getting Crystal Skull Part 2.
Yeah. I want to be excited. I mean, this stuff excites you. What we just saw is exciting.
Right.
You know,
that was phenomenal.
I'm more keep everything sacred. I don't want to see Han Solo. I don't want to see Princess Leia if you can't do it perfectly. But when you see this, you're like, even my cynical, jaded soul is like, holy, you know, balls.
Right.
You know,
it's clearly possible.
No, it is. We're there.
Yeah.
We're very, very close. And Star Wars is almost a perfect property for it, because the characters are iconic. They have designs you can replicate. You know what I mean? It's like you can produce this stuff in a computer, I guess is what I'm saying. But
wow.
If in limited quantities, I mean, but can you believe how much we got? It just went on.
And then it literally was just like a full, you know, just a full. Well, I mean, you know, Gundark said it best. Gundark said it best. She goes, "This is literally a sequel to Return of the Jedi." So literally, we're just
Okay.
watching a sequel to Return of the Jedi at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
It's
literally like we've
similar.
gone back in time
It
35
was
years.
what I would have wanted, you know. It's
Yeah.
what I
It's better. It looks better than it would have looked 35 years ago.
Oh, it does. It does.
It's high def. It's widescreen. You know, 4K.
Sure.
It looks amazing.
Mhm.
If you put a bunch of filters on it to look like it was on a videotape or like on film and aged and everything, then you'd get an idea of what it would actually look like back then.
Right.
But it looks better. It does.
Mhm.
And they can do anything, I guess, you know, because we were limited before. They even had to change the color of the lightsaber because the background, you know, now there's, I don't know, if you have the money. That's why this show needs to be a success. It's why
Yeah.
I've been supporting the show, no matter my mixed feelings on it, because they're going in the right direction, even if they stumble. Their heart is in the right place, even with the massive amount of greed involved. You know, because there is, you know, there's massive amounts of greed involved, but they are walking the line. And as long as they're doing that and giving us stuff to be excited about, that's so much better, frankly, than most movies they can come up with and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I love like you're talking, it's like I love the overall cinematic quality of this. You know, you're not watching a TV show here, you're watching a movie. You know, the music, the like you said, sort of the 4K, the panoramic shots, the the way everything looks is just so, the depth of it is so amazing. It's definitely not like, you know, we're not watching an episode of TJ Hooker here.
They have this huge toolbox to pull from. And these last 2 episodes, they have pulled stuff out of the whole toolbox. You know, the only limitation is we weren't seeing new places, and now we're seeing new places and new things, and they're fucking awesome, you know. The ring city in the last one, the planet for the Jedi planet is a total home run. That's incredible, you know. It's just an incredible setting. It combined all these awesome elements that you would love to see, and there it is, you know, right there.
I love the setting. I love the setting where Luke was training Grogu. That was fantastic.
And then like the least important part was the Boba Fett stuff, because it was brief, but it was good.
Yeah.
And they finally started ramping it up. And
they're ramping. At least they set the stage now for the last episode.
And
it's
then
like,
the
this
next
is where we're going.
important part was fucking Cad Bane, you know?
Oh my goodness.
And you got Timothy Oliphant playing character C or whatever. You know, he's not even the lead or the second lead. He's like the third or fourth lead.
Yeah, we just had High Noon with
incredible. How good
was
he? How good was Timothy
Incredible.
Oliphant in that
he was
episode?
He
totally came into that character and possessed
I'm
it.
so happy they brought that character back. He's so good.
I have a special place for him, not because he's Timothy Oliphant, but because in a world of just anti-heroes, he was a hero. I felt like we talked about that in the episode where when him and Mando said, they looked at each other and said, we got to go in there and do something.
We're going to do it.
They did it purely out of good intentions. There was no, you know, and they were heroes in that moment. I'm like, oh, man, I forgot what it's like to just have people behaving in a heroic fashion and doing heroic acts and putting their lives on the line, and guys willing to do that, you know, will step up and come through. And so I instantly, from that moment on, loved that character. And he just was so much better in this one than he was even in his intro. The whole town was, the setting was just great. And I loved the little annoying deputy. I love to think that he was Wendy or Deke. Who do you think you are, Luke Skywalker? Cad Bane, really, he took the temperature of the room. He's like, I don't like this guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, immediately as soon as they showed that figure, you know, 500 yards out in the dust, I was like, that's Cad Bane.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that, but I figured you would. You knew instantly.
I know.
I was expecting that shit.
Wow. And the fact that, you know, because Filoni is famous now for bringing his animated characters into live action with Ahsoka and all that. Now I knew that he was directing this episode.
Think it would be in this one, you know. I mean, I know he directed it, but so much was already in here.
Right.
He just unabashedly, unafraid, threw all characters he wanted that he in his one episode. Just said, "Screw it, I'm going to do it."
Right.
You know?
And I did not see that bomb coming at all.
No, that was a shock.
That
I
was
mean,
pretty
that's
shocking.
a major setting for the show. And,
Yeah.
you know, characters we've been seeing and just to
Master
really
Rebo,
kill them
no!
all.
Yeah.
They're
I
not
don't think
getting
they're
out
dead.
alive from that.
I think they'll go back. I think they'll go back and show there was more time there than was shown. Like they had time
People
to
might
duck
have had a
under
chance.
the table.
Yeah,
I
I'm sure
think
some of the
she
main
had-
characters are not dead.
Yeah, I think she had an adamantium bar or something that she pushed a button and it came out. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Seriously, I think there's going to be something like that. Or
I
they
think
could
so
all be
too,
dead.
yeah.
But,
It'll
but
be
I
one of
doubt
those
it.
where, yeah, like tons of deaths, but yet somehow the
Nobody
shrapnel was
important.
like shielded behind, you know,
Yeah.
something that she was standing behind, and she was just damaged, you know, injured severely, but she'll make a full recovery kind of thing.
But that's something I've admired about the new Star Wars series is that they've been unafraid to do things like that, like killing the Ugnaught, you know, killing IG-11 in the first season of Mandalorian. The characters that you got really connected to, and here you got a location that's been like, that's the place for this series, and now it's just gone, and all the people are gone.
Yeah,
exactly.
I wish they would adopt the same attitude with the biker gang, with the mobs.
Right.
Because usually they kill off ones that they've spent all this time on developing. You know, like they have all these cool scenes and then they kill them. And these people have had no scenes. You know, they've had they're just kind of standing there silently. They're just kind of sullen. They're the most joyless bunch of, you know, techno nerds you've ever seen. They're not excited about anything.
I love how they said, well, they've done their best, you know, to scope things out, but we need some real muscle now.
Yeah, and then Boba Fett's like, I noticed they're all here. If they're all here, who's actually watching the streets right now? That's what I would That's what I would be asking. Oh, you mean while they're out there blowing up our bars? They've done such a good job.
Exactly.
They took a day off for the meeting. But Gumdark, say something, because
yeah,
I'm having difficulty saying.
I know, right?
I'm so astonished.
I know it's like drinking 18 cups of coffee or something.
Yes.
You just got the shakes afterwards.
Right, exactly.
It's fan service just injected straight in your veins, you know. But
I thought at most we were going to, maybe we would go to the place where Grogu was being trained and we would see Luke in the background, you know, like a silhouette or something. I had
no idea we're gonna get like an episode of Luke Skywalker.
A full training sequence. I mean, a full-on sequel to Return of the Jedi. Luke training.
It's kind of like the Luke episode, whereas last week we thought we might get a cameo of the Mandalorian, and instead we got an entire Mandalorian episode. You know, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So wow.
And he got to engage dramatically.
Yes.
And be more than just a stoic Jedi master. Yeah.
Right.
We got more actual Luke scenes that felt like Luke scenes, like, you know, a natural extension of the character.
Boy, kudos to that guy that did that they hired to do the deep fake.
Yeah. That was really well done. Yeah, if that's who did it. That's fantastic. I'm sure all the information will start coming out now.
If you need a GoFundMe to start to pay the guy,
exactly.
We'll contribute some whatever we can.
Yeah, that was incredible, guys. Phenomenal stuff.
So why don't we think about what are our predictions now? I mean, our expectations have just been totally overturned. Where are we going now?
Eyebrow and everything. So the only thing I got right was the last episode. Peli Motto said, she said the Pikes are bothering everybody, and law enforcement isn't doing anything. And I told Carillion in text messages, I said that's Cobb Vanth. They're going to bring him back because I believe in that thing of the utility of words or whatever. You know, everything needs to serve a purpose that you say.
Yeah.
And so when she dropped last, I've never heard anybody refer to law enforcement on Tatooine ever in my life except for Cobb Vanth. So, but I forgot to bring it up in our discussion and predictions episode. But I was fully expecting him to come in and join Boba Fett. I didn't think he'd get wiped out by Cad Bane in the.
Yeah, wow!
But what a phenomenal scene! Oh my God, But yeah, we'll do predictions. Just real quick. Cad Bane. Oh my God.
Cad Bane.
I'm
Come
not
on.
even.
I mean, that's insanity.
I'm not even a fan like you are. And
Yeah.
I was
and even that freaked you out. Yeah.
I like this one better than the animated version.
I do too.
He was
truly
frightening. Oh my God, he was frightening.
So like what Gundark was saying, he was what, 6th or 7th all-time favorite Star Wars character back a year ago or 2 years ago when we did our favorite characters of all time. And then recently when I did my Trader's Top 10 Clone Wars characters, of course, he was number 1 of all of them. But yeah, seeing him in live action was incredible. I mean, it was stunning. I have to go back now and watch it to make sure I didn't actually just dream this. That my dream started with, I thought I was waking up to see messages from Greedo at 3 o'clock in the morning. And all of this has just been a dream the last few hours.
We slipped in a fan film from YouTube on there.
Yeah,
Cad Bane in it. But his reveal of his face was so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I give props to Timothy Oliphant because, and even the other guy in the scene, but especially Oliphant, he sold that. And he wasn't looking necessarily Cad Bane's face there, but they told him, you're looking at your death. Yeah. He's an experienced gunfighter. You could see as soon as he saw the look in his eyes, he knew he was overmatched. I mean, that's the impression I got. Is he's like, there's a good chance I'm going to die right here in my boots,
Mm-hmm.
And he sold that so well that it made you feel an aura of dread just coming off of this guy, just walked out of the desert or whatever. And the eyes, man, the teeth were creepy enough. And the fact he's like simmering and breathing where you can see his teeth. But then when he reveals the eyes, there's so much hate there. It's like, oh my God. And he's just one of those Cantina musicians, right? Or one of those pilots in the Cantina. One of those pilots in the Cantina.
One of the pilots,
Yeah, they look so harmless, but he's definitely not.
He is definitely not harmless.
No.
And they made it work visually, because that was one thing that I had a question about, because not always do animated characters translate to live action with how they look. And him with the the pipes coming out, the chords and stuff like that. It's like, is that going to look cheesy? Is that going to look dumb? But no, it totally worked. Because I know there's also questions out there about when they bring Thrawn into live action, is it going to look cheesy having a blue guy with red eyes? Or, well, I guess now we've already got a blue guy with red eyes and it works.
Well, there's no telling how many months or even years that's been in development. Just Cad Bane. Just getting the look right to where they want it and everything.
Right.
Okay, like how did they keep this spoiler free? How did no leaks get out? I am just, what are they doing?
That's another question.
Yeah,
it is the Disney magic of
somehow this is a magical thing they have of being able to.
You must sign a piece of paper that is so intimidating when you go
there were so
exactly.
many things that could have leaked. I mean, they must have a deal with Satan to keep it all
That's
under
what I was
wraps.
thinking. They got to
Yeah, they have a guy with no arms, no legs, no tongue in the closet, and he's the last guy who leaked at Disney Project. And they show him to everybody. You have to care for him for a week when you join the company as a warning. Oh man.
Wow.
I guess there's no sense in bothering with our ratings this week. It's all 10.
It's 10. It's above 10.
It's like 20.
The scale has been blown.
10 plus.
Yeah, I feel like last week was a 10 Mandalorian episode, even though it was Book of Boba Fett, and this is a 10 Star Wars.
Right.
This is a 10 new Star Wars, Nouveau Star Wars, because it's Clone Wars. It's Clone Wars in the new age. It's post whatever you call post Jedi Clone Wars.
Yeah.
We're drawing all these things in that they built over the years, and Filoni is there, and Favreau's
all coming together. Yep.
Yeah, and they just got this whole toolbox that. And I was wrong. I even did that video about where does Mandalorian go next. It seems like it's at a dead end, but I just couldn't conceive of this.
No,
I was thinking that. I was thinking back on your commentary.
Oh, it's the dumbest video I've ever made.
I disagree. I think you made very valid points at the time.
But they just dunked on me.
Yeah,
they just went,
did.
oh yeah.
And more
Yeah,
power
yeah,
to
dead
him.
end. How's this for a dead end?
Yeah, they posterized me over and over again like an all-star game. Just like, oh, you think Favreau just dunked on you? Well, he just did it behind the back to Filoni, and he dunked
Now
on
here
you from
comes
the other
Filoni
side.
dunking on you.
Yeah, here's Rosario Dawson. She's just dunking right in your face.
I love it.
Wow.
Grogu didn't even make it. No, Boba Fett didn't even make it the game. He's on the bench. You still got shamed.
That was awesome.
No, but that's what blows my mind is like we're seeing this thing that's been years in development that God knows where it's going next, where it's feeling like
Really exciting.
it's like you have comic books that are like you have the Boba Fett comic book, the Han Solo comic book, and then you have the Star Wars comic book.
Yeah,
I feel like we just saw the Star Wars comic book,
Mhm.
even though it's in the Boba Fett comic book.
right.
We
Even
saw
though
the
the same
implication.
storylines are in all of them, but
Yeah,
this is
they
the Star
do
Wars
that
version.
too. Like the Boba Fett will interact for a couple of panels in
Mhm.
the Star Wars one. You know, Luke goes, "I gotta go run over to Tatooine. I'll be right back." And then
Right,
they continue the
exactly.
storyline. And that's how you know they run together or whatever. And this is what it feels like. It's like a universe finally coming together. And oh my God, well, you know what's next? You were saying, what are our predictions? I have no freaking
I
clue.
don't know either.
I do think I'm always one though to put my foot in my mouth again. So I do think the people obviously of Freetown or whatever the stupid name was, Freetown. I think they're going to rally and go in memory of their dumb deputy. I think Cobb Vanth is probably alive.
Yeah, I think so.
too.
Because they were saying somebody get a doctor. They weren't just running out and
Yeah.
automatically thinking, "Oh, he's dead."
Yeah, I feel like what's his nuts? Cad Bane spared him pretty
I
much.
do too. He just took him out enough so that he couldn't.
I think the
sue.
deputy was
So
the
he could-
warning,
yeah.
and I think he had enough respect for Cobb Vanth. Plus,
Yeah.
I feel like that duel wasn't an honest duel because the dumb deputy flubbed it up.
Yeah.
If you noticed, it forced. It's like a samurai duel. You gotta you don't draw till you're ready. And
Right.
He forced
it
Vanth's
because
hand.
Mhm, yeah.
He looked away at the last second and then panicked and
because
had
he was
to
clearly
draw
trying to
because-
flank, Cobb Vanth,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he was,
And he knew
getting all
it was
nervous,
about to
jittery,
go
and grabbing
down.
his
So he
gun.
had to try to save his deputy, and
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
blew the whole conference. So I think they're going to redo
Right.
that at some point, but maybe not in this show. But
Yeah.
but I think those people rally, and I think they may bring this. Maybe where the Tuscans come in because the Tuscans helped the
hope
people
so.
of that village.
Could be.
and
Yeah, that would be
this may
nice.
where the female Tuscan went to rally the
Right.
troops or whatever, and to come back for payback, and maybe they'll show up to
Mhm.
get the Pikes because the Pikes are indirectly responsible.
I hope so because the
Tribes
people
death.
of that town have worked with the Tuscans before. So
Right,
this
that's
would
what I
be
mean,
a
yeah.
perfect opportunity to bring them
And
back.
and then I also think that what jumped out at me was that I think the Mandalorian Grogu reunion was put off. Now the
Mhm.
question is, was it put off until next week, or was it put off until
The
Until
new
the
series,
Mandalorian
yeah.
season 3. Yeah.
And whatever the case, we all know what Grogu is going to choose. I think, unless there's some third option that Luke's just testing him, he's going to choose the
Mhm.
armor. Because they're not gonna, unless they spin off and do a Luke Grogu show, which I don't
Yeah.
even know anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But I think they're bringing Grogu back into the Mandalorian fold, and so he's going to choose the armor. And since Mando's not there, there's a very good chance Luke brings him to him. So that would bring a way for. I don't think Luke should save the day every time in a season finale,
Right.
but it would be a way for them to show up at the end of next week
Mhm.
and reunite Grogu and Mando, but it's a lot to do in one episode.
Yeah, but look at what they did in this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mhm.
my God.
and people
yeah.
people are kind of getting. I was reading some reactions, and some people are righteously indignant, saying they've taken over the Boba Fett show. But Boba Fett only has a show by the grace of Mandalorian.
Right.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even have a show
So,
for this
yeah.
other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. It's Book of Boba Fett was totally unexpected. It's like a bonus, and these
Right.
guys own it, and they can do whatever the heck they
They
want.
can do
with it.
whatever they want. Exactly. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
It could
Yeah.
be Boba Fett killed in the first episode, and in the 5 episodes of people reflecting on his life at his funural.
Mhm.
We don't
Exactly.
control that. So,
Exactly.
so if they want to spend some of the finale reuniting Grogu, I just think that's such a big moment that I don't
Mhm.
know.
I
and
think
also-
that's something. My prediction is that's going to wait until Mandalorian season 3, and I don't think we're going to see Luke next week. Just my prediction. Not saying that I would be surprised if they did bring him back. I just don't think Luke's going to be there next week. I think we're
After
done with
this
Luke
episode,
Grogu for now. I think next week is just going to be this battle, and we're going to get Cad Bane. No, I know. I'm just saying, but this is predictions, so that's what I'm throwing out there.
Yeah, I'm smart enough to know I'm outsmarted here, and I don't know what to predict, but I know at some point that Grogu's coming back to the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The question is whether Luke will relent and learn something, whether he's in the process of learning something, and we'll train him later.
That idea about him learning something seemed to be reinforced by that scene with Ahsoka, where he didn't seem to, he didn't have a clear answer as to what to do with Grogu yet.
Right.
So it may not, the choice, there still may be something open-ended even after the choice is made. And Luke, think about Grogu, Luke pointed out, he can live hundreds of years, whereas Mando has a limited lifespan. It could even be that Grogu returns to the academy later.
That was one of my favorite lines in the whole thing. They kind of really brings things home when you talk about perspective with a character like Grogu, because he specifically says a short time for you is a lifetime for someone else. And that's like, ooh, that really got me. I was like, yeah, that's true.
That's why
like my adolescent years was like 2 lifetimes for you,
Yeah. That's why back when we used to speculate about Grogu on some of our podcasts, I said this could be the character that's the tentpole for the whole thing going forward, because he's literally the next Yoda,
right?
And has hundreds of years he's going to be around way longer than Luke, so Luke desperately wants to train him because of the connection to Yoda.
Because he basically is like the next Yoda.
Knowing that he'd be handing the Jedi tradition to someone that long lived and that powerful, it's got to be like a dream come true for him, but the fact that he's willing to back up and give the kid the choice, which the Jedi didn't really seem to do much. They just took kids and trained them.
Exactly.
And also the fact that Grogu his whole identity isn't really revealed yet. He may remember that he's been trained more than Luke ever was. We don't know. So they have a lot going on there.
They did drop the point. They specifically said he's already been trained.
Yeah, he's remembering more than I'm training him.
I think you're right, Greed. I think that opens up a whole new door too. That they could have flashbacks where he starts remembering stuff, and we can see all kinds of new stuff going on. Like even if something like what Gundark referred to, like, oh, maybe that was the hallway that Anakin was walking down with the clone troopers, and maybe we'll see that. But even more so, we'll see who his original teacher was, and kind of maybe some of the things that were going on back during the pre-Order 66 stuff.
Yeah, and the whole line they dropped of the lore of the originator of the Darksaber was a Mandalorian and a Jedi.
Right.
So it can be done, and Luke may not even know this, probably doesn't know this, and you have to have conflict. You can't just have Luke be Spock, and know everything. If he's going to be an active part of the drama and not just a wise man sitting on the hill that you go to for answers, he can't know everything, and he has to be wrong sometimes, and he has to be a source of conflict. So, but what a phenomenal job they did with this character.
Yeah,
you
incredible.
See him thinking and feeling, and it's just so gratifying, I just can't even express it.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, they knocked it completely out of the park.
It's cheesy as hell, but I was sitting there thinking, thank God I lived this long.
Yeah, I know.
I know that sounds almost pathetic to say, but I was so blown away, because you guys know I just put all expectations on the back burner for this show. I had never anticipated they would even cross over.
Yeah.
This stuff. And the show was doing fine with me on its own. I felt like the Boba Fett character still is the weak spot that needs to be kind of ironed out and they're giving all the cool stuff to other characters, you know. But Cad Bane brought it up in this episode. He's a killer who worked for the Empire.
Yeah. He's a cold-blooded killer who worked for the Empire. Exactly. Maybe you should think about this.
Moment because he was speaking the truth.
And they have a history, I'm sure. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure they've crossed paths before. Right?
Probably, yeah.
You could see Cobb Vanth, thinking it. I mean, like, what are his choices now? Am I really going to align myself with someone who worked for the Empire? Yeah. I don't know about. And if our expectations are blown again, and Luke does come to Tatooine, what's going to be the meeting between Luke
and Boba Fett.
Boba?
I've been wanting to see that this whole time.
Like what? Huh?
Yeah.
Because Luke is responsible basically for putting him in the Sarlacc pit, even though it was Han. Technically,
I think he'd have more of a problem with Han, but Boba has that trauma from the Jedi. I just don't think he likes the Jedi as a symbol or as anything at all, and probably has a lot of anger. Like, you guys are self-appointed judge and jury and executioner, and he probably blames them for a lot of stuff. So I think I could see it going both ways. I could see him never making peace with Luke, or I could see him saying, you know, Jabba messed with a Jedi and my dad messed with a Jedi, and look what happened to them. And he just may not want to repeat that mistake, you know, make that in.
One other thing that I don't know how we can consider this as part of the actual timeline, but because it was from not a deleted scene, but a deleted episode of the Clone Wars back, you know, when Clone Wars was originally canceled, they had several other storylines. They were already through animatics and everything, you know, they'd already had it scripted, animatics. So they've actually, there's like, I think there's places on YouTube you can actually find them and watch them still. But there's actual complete episodes. Well, there's actually a episode they never got to where it shows, again, I know you hate this stuff, Greedo, because you have to explain where everything happened. Where did the dice come from? You know, but they actually show that Cad Bane is the one who gives Boba his famous dent in his helmet.
Huh.
Oh,
so I don't know if that's going to come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it probably will.
I mean, they may not say
the same people involved here.
He may not say, you know, come buff my helmet, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna beat a dent in your head, just like the one you gave me. But he may not specifically say that. But I think they're gonna bring up, like I said, I just assumed they're two of the biggest bounty hunters. They have to have crossed paths before.
Yeah.
And probably not in a great way. So.
Right.
Because Cad Bane doesn't work well with others, right?
Right. Exactly.
He does Boba Fett to this point. Until he had his Sarlacc experience. Maybe he'll keep a Sarlacc around to throw people into to reform them, you know.
Reform them.
If you
can make it out of this alive.
Yeah. Then we put a lizard up your nose.
Yeah. Here's my famous
peyote in the desert suns for 3 days straight with no water. So what do you think, Gundlar? What do you think is going to happen at the end of this?
Like you, I just don't know what to think at this point. I was fantasizing that Luke would come back to Tatooine and the Jedi would be part of the fight against the Pike Syndicate. And I thought that would never even remotely happen. Yeah. And now I'm wondering, you know, is it
anything's possible?
Although I think Luke gave Grogu the choice. Obviously, Grogu chose the armor. Grogu will be going back to Mando. Will it happen in time for them to take part in what's happening on Tatooine? I don't know. And I agree with you. Luke would be the one to, well, maybe Ahsoka could take Grogu back to Mando.
Could be.
Yeah. No, she's gone.
But no, she's actually gone. I mean, not like he couldn't just call her back.
She buggered off to her own show.
Yeah, exactly. Because he even said, will I ever see you again? And she said, anything's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, logically, you would think it'd be held over for the next Mandalorian, but the way they've been doing these things, delivering on their setups, you know.
I think Grogu at least is going to appear in this next episode. I don't know whether he'll be reunited with Mando, but they gave him the armor. I mean, you can't just have him appear and that not be used right away. He's gonna go to Tatooine. Grogu's gonna go to Tatooine. Okay, that's my prediction.
And if he does come back, we're gonna have the Frodo scene with the cave troll.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what's gonna happen. He's gonna get shot. You think he's dead, and then oh wait, look, my mithril shirt.
Yeah, it could reveal his choice because I for some reason I've been picturing Luke showing up in the X-wing with the other X-wings from the Republic.
Oh, okay.
Like they figure out there's but they haven't set that up with showing the Pikes having any kind of spaceships or anything, just
Yeah.
transports.
They're just
But they
showing
showed
up
them-
in
But they
transports. Yeah.
did bring
Yeah.
in the X-Wing cops in the last.
Right. That's why I
episode.
think they.
That's
would,
why he thinks they're
Luke
that's
might
coming,
rally
yeah.
them.
And that one specific cop who invited Cara Dune to join the Rangers or whatever.
Yeah, see, if the Rangers
Oh.
was still going on, I would expect that to
Yeah.
be in the tie-in because
Yeah.
Spice is a big criminal enterprise, and
Sure.
moving in this planet, they might catch the attention of the Republic and say, no, not so fast. We're going to counter you, by coming in and smashing your people or whatever. But I could see some of those rogue pilots or whatever they are following Luke, and Luke could show up, at the head of those, and then he could get involved in the action while the pilots do is, fight it out with some ships or something. And
But guys, this is feeling so big stakes now. I'm just really feeling that this show is more of an interlude part of the whole bigger picture. I don't know that there will be another season of this show. Is it for sure that they were planning on this being a multiple season show? Because
The stuff I've heard is that the only limited series I've ever heard was Obi-Wan. That's one season, that's it, the end, done, put a bow on it, no more than that.
Because this feels like it's a one season event to tie everything together.
Like it's all culminating in next week's big battle or whatever, and then it's done.
Yeah. I just don't know. I mean,
it also feels like this could be the setting for Mando season 3 is Tatooine again.
Yeah.
Because he's got the ship at that. He's got his mechanic. They've got Jabba's palace. That's a friendly place now, assuming they win. This could be a setup to where the Pikes actually beat them and they have to come back and, but I don't know. I think this will happen.
Yeah.
More or less. But then the question is, will Boba Fett remain kind of a good guy, or will he start veering into villain territory once he gets the power, behind him? That would be interesting as well, but I doubt they'll go that way.
I think I doubt it too. But
they've created Dad Boba pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Now,
I see the Spice. I see the Spice as being the common enemy of the Republic and the gangsters.
Yeah.
But once you remove that, then there might be back to hostilities.
Right.
But yeah.
Wow.
And I think the other prediction I'd make is that the Rancor will swallow Grogu as poetic justice for all the frogs and lizards.
That makes sense. That'd be poetic justice.
Grogu
for sure.
has swallowed whole. But,
well, it's gonna be, man. That's gonna be, like you said, all bets are off at this point. I wouldn't be surprised by anything.
I wish there was more villains established, because I don't know what we have to look forward to other than Cad Bane, who's one guy, and then a whole bunch of Pikes getting mowed down. That look interchangeable to me. I don't know who their leader is.
It's almost like the same difference with like just watching clones get mowed down.
Yeah.
It's not like you have any attachment to any particular one of them.
Yeah, they might have been doing that because they're easy to replicate in a computer, but we got to have Boba Fett ride the Rancor out, unless they leave that. If there is another season, they leave it for that. But and the mayor's got to get his desserts.
Yep.
I guess he's sort of a villain, but really it's Cad Bane is the one that they just set up by sacrificing possibly one of the most likable characters to it.
And the mayor's more of an indirect villain,
Yeah.
It's more like he's just a bad guy because he's
Yeah.
complicit with the crime syndicate, It's like that's the only thing there. Right. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I guess we're all at a 10.
Yeah, I think so. We're all at a 10 plus.
10 plus.
Yeah, there's 10, and then there's, I guess we're gonna have to have epic level 10.
Yeah, epic
This is
level
an epic
10.
level 10.
And yet we still have an episode to go, so we'll see.
This is only going to do this week. And it's like 210
Finnick, I think you offended someone.
Exactly.
I am the
Guys,
crime. I am the
enjoyed
crime
that
lord.
episode.
Unless it bothers you.
Unless it bothers you, exactly. Oh, that's
Pay me my tribute, unless you want it the other way.
right. Unless you can't afford it.
Right. I realize water charges are high. So
I love Dad Boba. I'm sorry. I love Dad Boba.
I know you do.
I wish one of them in the meeting in this episode, I wish they looked around the room and said, "This is it. This is what we're going to war with." And just
like, this is all we got.
Yeah, I'm out.
They kind of did that. I mean, Finnick Shan was like, "Oh, the mods, they're okay. They've done. Oh, good for you, mods. Now let's get some real people in here."
I thought the best look of the whole thing, and I think I laughed during the reaction of it, was I think the biggest one who's like, F this is Black Cursant, and he's looking around like, this is it. He's looking like, I'm getting the heck out of here.
Yeah, I expected her to go, "This is the Mandalorian, Din Djarin," and they turn around and it's just an empty archway, and then they cut to his fighter lifting off.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here.
Remember, I have some stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was
Mandalorian taxes are due. This is the way.
This is the way.